Good morning. It's October 10th. I'm down just south of 25th Avenue, which is the one that's running by me right here. Just a different neighborhood I haven't walked in very much, if at all. Maybe bits of it I've touched into in previous walks. And it's a beautiful day. It's supposed to go to 20 today, and it's sunny, and it's pleasant right now. It did go very close to frosting last night. It was 1 degree when I got up this morning. And I did get up fairly early. It's currently, 20 to 11, and I got up at 7. So I've already done a lot this morning. I've already got my new podcast episode out featuring Garen Whited, who's the author of a popular vampire series called Night Lord. So you can find that at theworldshapers.com. There's a bit of a park here. This is actually the rugby field over here on the other side of this fence. So the question is, do I walk through the grass over here? There's a bit of a path. Or do I go down and go by let's go down and see the Rugby Clubhouse here. Can I walk down here? Morning, Rabia. Oh, who else is there? I have a hard time reading that one. Abhishek? Welcome. Looks like a beautiful morning. It is. It's a very beautiful morning. We'll walk down here by the rugby field. And that building over there is the Regina Rugby Club's clubhouse. Never been in it. Oh, have I? Maybe I was once. Maybe I have been in it once for like a... Oh, what would that have been for? Some sort of reception or get-together after a show, I think. Somebody must have been a member of the rugby club to get us in there. Oh, snowshoe hare. Another one. See one of those on almost every walk somewhere in the city. Still some color in the leaves here. They haven't all dropped. Rugby field. Stands. There's more than one rugby field. Like there's one, then there's another one. Never played rugby. My brother did for a while. He was the athlete. He played university football, American football, and then played rugby as well. Sometime along in there. That was a while ago. So the other thing I did this morning was I've tentatively registered for guitar lessons. I have a guitar, which I bought at a silent auction fundraiser, 3 or 4 years ago now. And I've been meaning ever since to, I kind of know the rudiments of playing, but I can't play really. And I'd like to be able to. I've always wanted to be able to. And if not now, when? So, unstable internet connection. I didn't expect that. Hopefully it picks up again here in a minute. And I don't lose my feed. There, it picked up. So here's the rugby club here. Clubhouse. Stands. I don't know if I can get through here or not. The next building over is the Saskatchewan Government Insurance Claims Center. So, am I going to run into a fence if I go this way? I don't think so. Let's go this way, find out. More. Look at all the 3 snowshoe hares over there. Apparently we're in rabbit heaven here. There's another one. 4 of them. Guess they like the sand. That looks like a beach. Those look like beach volleyball. I had no idea those were here either. Those definitely look like beach volleyball nets. Do we have a beach volleyball club? It's not like we have a beach. Regina Rugby Club. It's all fenced. They clearly don't want you on their fields. That's Harbor Landing over there, so that's where I was walking yesterday. So I'm not too far from that, just on the other side of the street. Never walked down here, so I don't know what I'll find. Still trapped by the fence over here on the left. Looks like I can get through over there. So I guess I ended up walking through a parking lot, which maybe isn't the most exciting thing. How far is Saskatchewan Polytechnic from here? Quite a ways. It's over that way. Does that help? I have walked by it. It's out on the edge of town, so I drive out there when I go out to the Wascana Country Club to write, but that's all closing down, so I won't be out there as often. But I would like to go back out there and just walk through the field, so maybe sometime this week I'll get out there. It was kind of in the back of my mind for going out that way anyway, so I could do that if I remember. Here's the path I was trying to pick up. I knew there was one here somewhere. So again, that's Harbor Landing over there. This is Parliament, this street. But we'll follow the path here now that I found it. It's easier than walking through the grass. Kilometer-wise, it's not that far to Saskatchewan Polytechnic from here, I guess. Maybe 5 kilometers in that direction. Sort of pretty much the way I'm pointing. I'm already wishing I had not worn my sweater. It's warming up so much. If you go back through the Walking in Regina playlist, I don't know if I mentioned Saskatchewan Polytechnic specifically, but which I still think of as SciEst actually. But if you see one where I was walking out in the fields, there's like I think the thumbnail is the prairie with this lone building sticking up in the middle of it. Red brick building and with a canola field in front of it. If you find that one, that's Saskatchewan Polytechnic. In fact, that building it used to be the Plains Hospital. And I walked by all of that stuff in that walk. But I will try to do it again, maybe this week. Jet up there, heading somewhere. I walked over there, so I'll stay over here today. See where this path takes me. I remember on a previous walk, sort of coming along on that side and then heading back that way. So this time I'll stay here. Again, this is all rugby fields over here. And I see somebody walking a dog. There's always somebody walking a dog. Cat person myself, don't have to take him for walks. He just lies around, looks cute. Good for photos. Good for purrs and pets. There's a bunch more rabbits out there in that field. You can see them in the distance there, in the shade of that tree. Could walk over there, but that seems mean. Rabbits live their whole life running from things, so it seems kind of mean to chase them. Snowshoe hares, I should say. Exactly what the difference is between a hare and a rabbit, I'd have to look it up. There is a difference, but in ordinary chatting, we don't usually make the distinction between rabbits and hares. If they hop and they have long ears, they're bunnies. Actually, here in Saskatchewan, what most people call a hoodie, the Saskatchewan term for it is bunny hug. Seems to be a very regional thing, bunny hugs. I don't even own a bunny hug. Sometimes they're called kangaroo jackets too because of the pockets in the front, but bunny hugs we call them. So playground. This is officially Hudson Park, apparently. All right, well, if I follow the path, I will continue along the park. It'll almost dump me back to where the car is. Is that what I want to do? I don't know if it goes where it goes. We'll take the path. Again, lots of green space in Saskatchewan and Regina. It was straight into somebody's backyard there. Oh, the path just ends. I see. Then you just end up walking through the grass back behind these houses, and that would eventually take us pretty much back down to where the car is, but I don't want to go that way yet, so we'll go back. We can cut through the grass here in this little bit of park to avoid repeating myself. Sometimes there's like a grassy alley between houses in neighborhoods where they don't have full alleys, so those are always fun to take. I don't see that here yet, anyway. And now we'll just wander through the neighborhoods as the mood strikes. I don't even know what formally this neighborhood is called. Is this South Albert? I don't really know without looking it up. This will eventually kind of overlap with areas I've walked in before, but that's okay. Every walk is different, even if I go to some of the same places. The walk itself is different. Different order of things. Everything looks different every day. Elphinstone. If I went on down there, I'd end up on the main Albert Street business drag. If I turned to the left, I could walk all the way home up this way. I smell smoke. Good smoke. Somebody burning leaves, or somebody has a fireplace going? It smells more like a fireplace. Well, we will turn left. Up Elphinstone. I did say Elphinstone. It's Montague. Why did that sign say Elphinstone? Oh, the other side, it turns into Elphinstone again. Oh, see, who knew? Right, it's Montague here. If I kept walking, I'd eventually come to the Lutheran church I've walked by many times with the interesting roof. But we're going to stick kind of wandering through the neighborhoods rather than going that far. Cars parked on 25th, so we'll kind of stick between Parliament and 25th here, I think. We'll go this way along whatever it is, because it doesn't seem to have a name. Huh. Oh, there's a good mountain ash with lots of red berries on it over there. That one looks almost as nice as the ones we saw in Newfoundland, where I thought their mountain ashes had more delicious looking berries, but this is a good one. They look delicious, don't they? But you can't eat them. I guess birds might, but people certainly don't. Newton Crescent. Which way does it curve? Might just be a loop that brings me back around to where I'm going anyway. Well, we'll find out. We'll carry on this way. Hello from Brazil. You'll see these in some neighborhoods, welcoming immigrants, basically, is what these signs are. Lucas in Brazil. Hi. Just walking through a quiet residential neighborhood on a Sunday morning. Starting to see Halloween decorations various places. See more and more of those as the month goes along. Fortunately, we've lost a lot of leaves, but some trees are still hanging on to their color. It did go very close to frost last night, and frost is actually officially in the forecast now for the first time for Monday night, I think. Very late for us for first frost. Average first frost here is September 17th. This is Thanksgiving weekend in Saskatchewan, like Canada. Canadian Thanksgiving is a different date than American Thanksgiving, obviously. And we have had snowstorms for Thanksgiving, but not this year. This is just a bay. We can take it. An interesting house. Red brick. Interesting. I don't know if it's new or an old house that was redone, but I think it must be new with that look. Another interesting one with that kind of filigree thing going on in the eaves and interesting siding. These all look like they're probably built in the 60s, I would think. Oh, there's some more Halloween decorations. I would say 60s, might be 70s. Quiet little bay. Of course, that's the whole idea of bays. You don't get any through traffic, so they're nice, quiet little residential bays. Some of them have trees in the middle. This one just has a lamp. I always get asked, why are there things wrapped around the trees? And that's an insect control measure. There are flightless moths. Well, the females are flightless that crawl up the tree to lay their eggs when they hatch, and the caterpillars eat the leaves. And so those are put on twice a year to try to prevent infestations of, there's a couple of those. The main one is, it's a type of moth, but we call them cankerworms, the larvae. There's also the nest, what are they called? Tent caterpillar, because they make tents of basically spider web, except they're caterpillars, not spiders, in the trees. So that's what these things are. They're just, there's usually fiberglass insulation with plastic over it, taped to the tree, and then smeared with grease to keep the insects from climbing the tree trunks. I've been asked that multiple times since I started doing these walks, so I thought I'd put it out there right now before anybody else asks. Haven't had anybody say hello on Facebook yet, but if you're there, say hi. Is this another bay? No, this is an avenue. Oh, this is the crescent. So if I'd followed the crescent, I would have come out here. Well, I don't want to go back to where I was, so I won't follow the crescent. The other end of Newton Crescent, we walked past the south end a few minutes ago. It's interesting, they have a little carport out front, even though they have a garage. Somebody who doesn't like grass, doesn't want to look after it anyway. It's a bit severe, that approach, I think. Oh, the little dog with a little tiny bark back there. You can barely hear him. It's barking up a storm. You can barely hear him. I like the way they put the junipers in front of the chimney there. Looks nice. Thank you. Yep, it's Thanksgiving. We're going out for a Thanksgiving dinner tonight. Tomorrow technically is Thanksgiving, but this is Thanksgiving Sunday. So this is 25th. Far too soon to go to the left and get back to my car, which is not far away. So we will maybe cross it. Walk on the other side. If I can do so without being run over, always a good thing. Regina is pretty good. It's a long way from anywhere. So if you want to go to a bigger city, it's, 2 or 3 hour flight. About 3 hours to Toronto and Montreal, places like that. And about the same to Vancouver in the other direction. It's actually a high crime city. Property crime, not so much violent crime. A lot of break-ins and car thefts and things. In parts, that's fairly... that's just statistically. It doesn't feel like that when you live here. Depends on where you live, obviously. Violent crime is practically non-existent. But, there is some, obviously. We have a few murders every year, but it's like single digits in a bad year. But yeah, there is a certain amount of, must be a dual citizen like me. I'm both the US and Canadian flags. And they have the US one on top, which is interesting and not according to protocol. But I'm a dual citizen. Some days I feel more American, some days I feel more Canadian. Kind of depends what's happening in the news. Van Horn Avenue. Must be named after William Van Horn, the chair of the CP when the railroad was built across the country, Canadian Pacific Railroad. On McTavish Street, I don't know who McTavish was or why he got a street named after him, probably a city councilor or something. We'll keep going this way because we've only gone half an hour, and I actually walked right by the car back there, so that loop was only half of my walk, so I'll do the rest on this side, I guess. Oh, there's some more Halloween decorations. You see the ghost there. Oh, here's one of these grassy alleys. Let's take that. Feels like you're walking in the country, but you're really walking between people's backyards. There's probably one going left-right too, but yes, there is. Oh, there's a bit of a park here. Well then, let's check out the park. Ah, squirrel. Pretty basic park. It's just a patch of grass, really. But a bit of green space. Run your dog in. Well, except you probably can't have a dog off leash here. See, not a lot of leaves left on these trees. And they're not very crunchy either because it rained the other day. Oh, what about this way? Let's go this way. I think that's a cat up there. I like these lanes that aren't really used for vehicles. They are wide enough for vehicles. You can tell from the ruts that they occasionally come down here, but those would mostly be probably SaskPower or SaskTel, so service vehicles. Oh, bit of mud there. Oh, can't go to the left. I guess I'll go to the right. Whew, okay. Feels very secluded. I don't want to walk down here in mosquito season. We could go back that way, but that would be redundant. So we'll go up and around to the left from here. Wasn't that fun? Don't have to fear walking alone? No, no. Not this time of day, and not my size and sex. There are places in town where you would walk it at night alone. There is a neighborhood that I kind of avoid. But no, for the most part, not something you have to worry about. Oh, there's that cat I saw earlier. He went the other way. I don't know if you can see him way down at the end of the street there. Very quiet down here. It is Sunday morning. Businesses are open on Sundays, but it's still, they don't usually open until around noon, so the mornings are quite quiet. Yeah, of course, this isn't a business area, but people aren't even thinking of getting out of their houses usually till around noon. Has to go to church, of course. A pretty little front garden here. Still has flowers because, again, no frost yet. Might be this week finally does them in. But it's been a lovely autumn for that reason. Our anniversary was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And the year we were married, there'd already been frost. All the flowers had been killed. And last year, we had a very early frost, which was really annoying, about September 8th or something like that last year. First frost. Those are always annoying because you lose, potentially a month of vegetable growing and harvesting and tomatoes ripening and all that kind of thing. What do we got here? McTavish. Oh, we're back on McTavish. Okay, well, we can go right some more. It's not a crescent, so I won't be stuck. We can go down Lakeview Avenue, or we can go down another. Let's take the lane. I'll surprise the birds. We weren't expecting anybody to come this way. Watch my feet a little bit. It's uneven ground, and occasionally there's something hidden in the grass that you could twist your ankle on. Duck. This is a long one. Short one to the street, either direction, so we're just going down between two rows of houses. That's all this is. You get to see people's gardens. Often there are nice gardens in the back if they have a fence that you can see through. Again, everything is getting old. Even though it hasn't frosted, it's very late in the summer. Sorry, early in the autumn now. Very late in the season. My feet are getting just a little damp in the shade back here. There's dew on the grass. There was a hole. How long have I been out now? Not even 40 minutes. Still too soon to turn toward the car because I'm really not very far from it. This is your road here, so this must be... Well, let's walk on the road for a bit. Is this Queen or is it... Yeah, Queen Street. It's one that runs fairly consistently north-south. It's a bit of a park over there. If I'm where I think I am, I've been in that park not that long ago. So we will go to the left, where I don't believe I've been, unless it's a crescent. Nope, it's an avenue. Right, and there's Pasqua Street in the edge of town, dead ahead. So if this is your first time walking with me in Regina, you should know that every tree you see was planted by somebody. The actual landscape is treeless, which is what you're seeing up there at the end of the street. So we'll walk all the way up there. They still got lots of flowers that have not yet frozen. I have not yet begun to freeze. And King Street here would take us back down to 25th and where the car is also. We'll go all the way up to Pasqua just to get a glimpse at the edge of the city again. Just like I did yesterday from Harbor Landing, which, as I pointed out, has no harbors and no landings. It's not far from the airport, but it's not where the airport is. And there's certainly no harbor there because we don't have any harbors being landlocked. So why they call it Harbor Landing, I don't know. The sound of leaf blowers. Our yard is covered in leaves, way worse than these yards are because of how many trees we have. So I'll probably get somebody to come and do it for me. I think I've walked out to here before on a previous walk. Then I turned that way. I'm going to carry on to the left. Pretty though. Somebody in a turban walking on the other side there. The Hindu temple is around here. I don't remember if it's to my left or my right. Here, let's take the grassy lane here too, rather than walk along Pasqua Street. blood of Jesus Christ, God's Son, cleanseth us from all sin. I would say that's probably a church. Kind of a dead giveaway. Oh, and this is this gym up here I used to go to years ago. My wife and I used to do step aerobics here. But it wasn't what it is now then. It was something else. It's called Lakeview Fitness, I think, at the time. See, if walk over there, it's just dirt and concrete. So we will go back to King Street here, I think. I don't think walking down the path here works. No, there's a fence in the way. Still lots of green, but winter is coming. In a month, we could have snow to stay. We'll see. Doesn't look like that's going to happen this year, that it will come that early, but warm weather right now proves nothing about a month from now. Hopefully we're not like Antarctica, which apparently had its coldest winter on record. Minus 100 Fahrenheit. Temperatures like that. And that's not wind chill, that was actual temperature. I mean, it goes to minus 40 here, but at most maybe minus 50 or so Fahrenheit is probably the record. But drop another 50 degrees on that. Ugh. Okay, now we're on King Street. Just crossing because there's somebody on the sidewalk. Not sure what they're doing. And I'll decide which way to go when I get up here. Oh, it's not a cross street. I guess I will go the way that the road goes then. This is 24th, the car's on 25th. Probably getting close to when I'll just, rather than trying to stretch it out to a full hour, I'll probably just cut it a little short today. Usually I'm pretty good about finding walks that last almost exactly an hour, but I seem to have come up a bit short today. Is there a lane here? Nope, not that direction. Very clearly not. There was in the other direction. Oh, speaking of Saskatchewan, here's one of their trucks. It's a little free library over there. I should carry my books around and stick in stray copies here and there. Right, well, there's the 25th up here in the rugby fields again. where I walked to start with. Van Horn Avenue, which I commented on, although I crossed it down there somewhere. This neighborhood is good to live in Regina. Most of them. The most problematic is North Central, it's called. That's where a lot of the crime is. Otherwise, I don't know. Depends on your budget, I guess. And where you can find rental or condos or whatever you're looking for. I mean, the high-end neighborhoods are like Lakeview and some of the new developments. Harbor Landing, where I was walking yesterday, is quite nice and very handy for businesses and stuff. Anything downtown is kind of like that too. Or even where we live, which is called Cathedral. Older houses look really handy for downtown. You know, maybe a little more risk of break-ins and stuff the closer you are to downtown, but again, nothing. Despite the statistics saying we're quite high crime, it's pretty minor stuff. My personal experience of it, I've had 3 bicycles stolen since I've lived here in 30 years. So I don't currently have a bicycle because my last one was stolen. I hadn't ridden it for years, but I still didn't want it stolen. Worst thing is they took my bicycle helmet. It's very hard for me to find a helmet to fit me because I have a big head. And yes, people have suggested that's because of my ego, but I think it's genetic. That's that for Rabia. Well, I'm about to end this anyway, Rabia, so you saw the whole thing. There's my car. So thanks for walking with me. I'll be back tomorrow walking along the creek. And I'll just end it here because there's my car. So again, thanks for walking with me. Tomorrow's Monday, which means a walk along Wascana Creek. I'll be back then. Bye for now.